All right, I wanted to get on here real quick and release this word, and I'm gonna try my best to take my time with it. So, Lord, use me as you see fit. Lord, please use me. Speak through me. I was sitting here reading. The Lord led me to 1 Samuel 16, 1. But I've read it many times before. But He took me to verse 7, and it reads, "But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outer appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Let me say this, and I don't ever know who the word is for. When the Lord gives it to me, I throw it forth to the and to the best of my ability, shake the dust from my feet and move on. Understand, when the Lord has anointed you for a certain thing within His kingdom, oftentimes many people will try to make you feel as if you're not enough, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, or you're not it. Who are you to see fit that you should be the one to go for it? Whether if it's to preach, whether if it's to teach, whether if it's to sing through gospel, whatever the anointing, whatever the Lord has anointed you to do. And see, here's the thing. Let me back up. The anointing is attached to you at birth. At the beginning, the Lord places an assignment. Many people, I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. We think that we're supposed to go and find our purpose. No, our purpose is to serve the Lord. It is an assignment that is attached to you at birth. It's attached to you before birth, because the Lord has a thought before He creates. So the anointing that you wear, understand that many people don't like the fact that it's you. Now let me back up and let me explain this. Oftentimes people can see the anointing that is on you way before you see it. I said this before in another video on TikTok, and I'm going to say it again. Oftentimes people can see your gifts, your talents. They can see your heart. They can see who you are way before you see it. But what happens is a majority who don't like the fact that it's you that the Lord has chosen, what they do is, and it's not them, it's the enemy using them to paint this picture or this image that you're not it, that the Lord ain't called you. Who do you think you are? The Lord, and I'll say it, and I'm going to say it again. I've said it so many times in so many videos on TikTok. The Lord don't make no mistake in who He chooses. The Lord knows who He has chosen, but the problem is that, and I don't know who this is for, but somebody needs to hear this. What the problem is the Lord knows who He has chose. You just got to understand and deal with and allow yourself to say, okay, the Lord chose me for this specific anointing for His kingdom. You have to get to a place to where you're okay with the anointing and begin to walk in the anointing. Because oftentimes what happens is we will dim our light just to satisfy other people. And I'm only speaking through experience. There have been times when I have walked in rooms and felt the spirit of other people from a negative perspective. And what I would do is I would dim my light. I did it. I've done it. I would dim my light and step back and shrink back to allow them to shine. And the Lord said, this is exactly, I don't know who this word is for. He said, this is exactly what you're doing. You have allowed the people who are around you to make you feel as if you ain't enough. You ain't pretty enough. You ain't good enough. Who do you think you are? And the Lord said, I don't see you by what you were. I don't see you by the clothes that you got. I don't see you by the car that you driving, the house that you possess, and the degrees that you done earned. He don't see you by that. He sees you by the heart that you were. It's the anointing that you carry. That's it. And many people, and I'm going to say this too, because the Lord, I spoke this before over on TikTok. Oftentimes what happens is, and this is, the Lord said, let them know it's about to happen as well. The Lord is about to place you in places. He's about to open up doors for you to walk through. I don't know whether if it's to sing, whether if it's to preach, whether if it's to teach, whether if it's to, whatever it is, the Lord is going to usher you into a season where doors are going to be open. But what's going to happen is there are going to be people who are going to try to come up against you. And the crazy thing that's not going to make any sense is the people that are coming up against you have a greater anointing than you. They've been doing it longer. Their anointing is on fire. But for some reason, when you come on the scene, understand that although their anointing is a greater anointing, I'll understand that your anointing is different. The reason why they're going to come up against you is your anointing is going to be able to reach people that they couldn't. What's going to tell y'all? I don't know who this is for. I don't know who this is for. But when it happens, you're going to come back and you're going to inbox me. You're going to inbox me and say, oh my goodness, everything that you said came to pass. It is the anointing that you carry. It is the anointing. It is the heart that you wear. It is your heart posture. It's nothing like the people that you are around. Your heart posture is nothing like the people that you keep running with. Your heart posture is nothing like the people that the Lord has separated you from. It's not. Here's what the Lord wanted me to throw out as well. I'm doing a podcast also, but the podcast is specifically for women. The podcast has to do with it's called Arise, Prophetic Daughters of Zion, and what that is there are a lot of women who have a prophetic anointing who are not aware of the anointing. And so what the Lord has ushered me forth and positioned and equipped me to do is to give language to many women who are not aware of their prophetic anointing. So let me say this. This is why a majority of women who are going through this situation where people are coming up against you, who envy you, who are coming up against you in jealousy, envy, is because of the anointing, the prophetic gift that you wear, that you carry, and you're not aware of the prophetic anointing, ain't aware of it, that you walking in the prophetic anointing. And you don't have language for the things that these people, the people that you around, the people that you associate with, the people that God has separated you from, you don't have an understanding as to why you're going through it. And then but understanding why people keep coming against and rejecting you. It is the anointing. I'm telling you, it's the anointing. Oftentimes, and I don't want to give too much away on this page because the podcast is going to be totally different from this, but I wanted to it's not that I want, it's what the Lord wants. Understand that the prophetic anointing, it comes with so much. There is so much that is attached to the prophetic anointing. And oftentimes, many people want to walk in the office of a prophet or a prophetess and don't even realize what comes with that anointing. That's it. Many people will know their anointing. There are many people who know their anointing but may not want the anointing that the Lord has attached to them at the beginning. They want the anointing that you got. Because it's you. I'm telling you, listen to me. I don't know who this is for. I had to turn around and preach the same thing to myself. It's not that you're better than anybody, because you're not that type of person. You don't carry yourself as such. But people oftentimes want to put you in the category of trying to be this, that, and the third. And you just simply somebody that love people. You love talking to people. You love teaching, whatever. But it's the anointing. And I'm here to tell you, stop dimming your light. I don't know who this is for, but this is for a particular person or persons. It's going to be more than one of you beautiful women. Y'all going to come back and say, oh my God, this stuff came to pass. It's not the stuff. It's the word that the Lord gave me to give to you, for you to understand. Stop dimming your light. Because the Lord doesn't see you by what you have. He's not going to see you by, I said it and I'm going to say it again, the works of your hands. He don't see you by who you sowing into and the seed that you giving. He sees you by your heart. He's not going to see you by the car. You can have 50 million degrees hanging on your wall. And the Lord ain't moved by that. He's moved by the anointing. He's moved by the heart that you carry. It is the heart the heart posture that is attached to you. Come on now. Understand, and I'm going to leave it at this. Understand, no matter how much you try to explain to these people why the Lord called you or chose you, no matter how many times that you try to convince these people, and I said this before and I'm going to say it again, no matter how many times that you try to convince these people that the Lord called you specifically for this anointing, no matter how many times, it ain't going to make no difference, because it's you. They didn't think the Lord was going to use you. Oh, it couldn't be you. Oh, it wouldn't be you. That's what it is. I'm sure. I promise you, y'all gonna say, "Oh my God." Cause listen. Let me say this. Anything that I've ever walked through, I try my best to throw it forth so somebody else can catch it and understand. I try my best to give language to stuff that many women go through. Especially when you have a prophetic anointing and are not aware of the anointing. Deal with so much envy, jealousy, a prophetic anointing that y'all deal with. It is a lot. It is a lot. But I'm here to tell you, don't dim your light for these people that are around you that keep trying to make you feel like, oh, the Lord wouldn't call you. Who do you think you are? Yeah, he called you. And it may not be for preaching. It could be for teaching. It could be to sing. It could be to build up a youth center. It could be to help women off of drugs. It doesn't matter. Whatever the Lord has positioned and anointed and equipped you to do, it ain't gonna matter, because it's you. Always understand they can see the gifts and the talent and the anointing long before you. And I heard the Spirit of the Lord, he said, and it's usually those that I don't know who needs to catch it, he said, but just say it. And it'll make sense to the person that hears it. Many of, when you were little, people used to say, oh, she's been here before. This is how you're going to know that this word is for you. And it is also for other people, but this is going to resonate in somebody's spirit. You're going to be like, oh my God. When you were little, people, grown folks, in the church, out of the church, our family used to say, oh, this little girl been here before. She done been here before. Because when you were small, you've been carrying, this anointing was attached to you at birth. It ain't going nowhere. unless you don't begin to walk in it. That's the problem. Many people, they know their anointing, and they know they're anointed with something. They may not know that they have a prophetic anointing, but they know it is our responsibility to find out what that anointing and assignment. Because I said it the other day, and I'm going to say it again. Many people think that we're supposed to go and find our purpose. No, our purpose is to serve the Lord. It is an assignment that is attached to you at birth, actually before birth, because the Lord has a thought first about you. He puts it together how he wants you, knits you together exactly the way he wants you before he places you. Right in there, I said it the other day, in the bosom of your mother's womb. It is the anointing and the assignment that's attached to you at the beginning. It's your job to find out what you were anointed for and the assignment that you're supposed to be walking in. And I'm going to do another podcast on this. Oftentimes you will be walking in your anointing or your assignment, in your assignment, and don't even realize that that's your assignment. Because many people will be frustrated and be like, I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Oftentimes you will be already doing what you're supposed to be doing. You'll be walking in the assignment and don't even realize it. So this is me. Listen, I don't want to keep going on and on, but because I want to leave a little bit for later. But listen, don't forget to hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Hit it and let's get it. Because sometimes, I might have to go live, and I got to have enough people so I can go live. So don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. And listen, I will see you guys the next time around. God bless.